Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Me, your host, Session, and of course, your review to our 1-0 loss to Newcastle United. But I'll also be speaking about the Galatasaray game in midweek last week. And the reason why I haven't been doing videos, I'll definitely mention that as well. But subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and if you are here watching the video, thank you for joining me. Let's get into it. So, I want to start with Galatasaray. Again, we start well, we play well, but defensive errors, goalkeeping errors, yet again, Onana cost us in the Champions League. We didn't look very good after we went 2-0 ahead. We certainly didn't look better when we were 3-1 ahead. And we probably could have lost that game, but we ended up simply not getting what we needed, and that was a win. We look like we are out of the Champions League, and it's not a disappointment. No, I don't think we have the squad right now to compete against the bigger teams in the Champions League. We can't even compete well against teams that are supposedly, on a lower level than us. We struggle against the likes of Luton Town, Nottingham Forest, teams we should be beating comfortably. But there doesn't seem to be any connection between the players and Ten Hag right now. Newcastle United, what an abysmal performance. You could see the frustration in Ten Hag with the way the team was not playing towards his instructions. The lack of effort and desire and fight leaves a sour taste in your mouth. I certainly did not recognize Manchester United, the club I have grown up supporting for years since I can remember. It came from my father, and literally it's the only club I've ever wanted to support. There was a connection between me and the club, but you feel detached from that right now. These players, some of them certainly do not want to be wearing a Man United jersey, in my opinion. They don't look like they want to be here because they pick and choose when they want to perform. And when they do perform, it's against smaller teams that even then they're not playing at their best. Against Newcastle, we could have probably gotten a draw and a win had we just applied ourselves. Ten Hag had the tactics, in my opinion, spot on. But certain changes that he made did not work. Why leave McTominay on? Why not take Martial off after halftime? Why not take Rashford off after halftime? They literally had poor performances in that first half. The big Scotsman McTominay being absolutely demolished and dominated by Joe Linton, who was supposedly a striker when he joined Newcastle first. How is it possible that Delo cannot simply defend against Almiron? And I know he's not the best defender out there, but surely he must be able to have a better performance than that. How is Maguire man of the match, considering he was one of the players that was first out of the door in the transfer window when we were looking to sell players? His performances of late have shown a sense of professionalism that certain players should look up to. I don't want to rant and rave. I couldn't make videos previously because of our country's power cuts that we keep having, the times that we have it, the length of period is normally for hours, so it doesn't help when I need to make the videos that I need to do. But I'm thankful for those that are still here watching, and supporting the channel. I'm sure you feel like I do about that performance against Newcastle. It wasn't even a performance. What do you even call that? It's a similar pattern and a repeated history of previous games where we see players walking, not wanting to tackle, being bypassed easily, not getting to stop a cross. Look at the goal we conceded. We tried to play out from the back. Delo makes a stupid pass. It gets intercepted and they immediately into our box with two passes and it's a goal. Wan-Bissaka once again sleeping at the far post. How many times have we seen that happen with Delo, with even Regulon, when at times you even have Wan-Bissaka, as we saw, having that problem. Yes, he's very good in a one-on-one situation, and he showed that against Gordon. But one moment of a lack of concentration. Gordon gets in behind and he taps it in. Now you could say before that there was moments where we could have stopped the ball, but nobody decided to run back. A moment where Livramento was having the freedom of the left-hand side of the pitch. Rashford walks back, doesn't bother. How he managed to stay on after the first half ended, I don't know. Martial fighting with Ten Hag, lifting his arms. I understand his point, he's pressing and Rashford's not doing anything, but you talk to Rashford then. Don't show disrespect to Ten Hag. Ten Hag is not the problem. He's given the instructions. He can only motivate them so far. But it is a concern that he's unable to motivate them. But there's so many issues that is causing these problems for us. You could mention it's the lack of direction above Ten Hag. Nobody knows what's happening or where the club is going to. Nobody knows who's going to be owning what and who's going to be working in what department and who's going to be in charge of what. So far, it looks like Erik Ten Hag is the only person that everything has to go to. Every comment or action that the club takes, Ten Hag is the one that has to face the media. It's not easy being a Man United supporter right now with what we are seeing on the pitch. But I'm tired of it. Martial, Rashford, McTominay, these are players that need to leave. I lost respect for Marcus Rashford after what I saw against Newcastle. A total disregard for wanting to play for the badge. We were only 1-0 behind. Had we chosen to play and fight, we probably would have won. Their players that they had weren't even their first choice. They couldn't even make substitutions because their bench had youngsters on it. We just phoned it in. Didn't bother. And when we did try to bother, we started pressurizing Newcastle in the last 10 minutes, but it's too late. Scored a goal, Maguire was offside, unfortunate, but it's too late. That energy should be there in the first minute. We should be matching any team, not just Newcastle, from the first minute already. Running harder than them, being more aggressive than them. But it's the same things that I keep having to speak about. I literally spoke about this lack of fight previously in previous videos with previous games. Nothing has changed. And I fear for Ten Hag because of the results that he is getting. And if we keep having these bad results, he most certainly will be sacked. And then again, we fall prey to that same trap of getting another manager, he gets a few new players in, but the same players will still be there and will be told to play. I feel that behind the scenes, Ten Hag is being told, Rashford, McTominay, Maguire, these players must play. You've got the issues with Varane, who's not injured, but he ain't playing. Casemiro, is he injured? I don't know where he is. Sancho, literally going to party after party. At not one moment did I ever think, oh, Sancho might help us right now. I forgot about him. That's how bad it is for us. That we find ourselves with so many issues and Ten Hag has to put fires out all the time. I don't even think there is an opportunity to work on tactics because of all the issues that he has to deal with. Now he must deal with a Marcus Rashford who looks like he doesn't want to be here, throwing his toys out of the cot after he gets substituted. But he had a bad performance. I'm just sick of them all. I'm just sick of seeing the same performances, game in, game out, with no changes. We play Chelsea next, and they won against Brighton in their previous game, but I don't think we're showing or going to show a spirit that they showed. Look at Spurs. They've got injuries, but they're going full force at Man City, and they're getting their reward. Now, I'm not saying we must be dumb and go full force and attack these big teams or any team for that matter and lose regard of discipline, but there is no discipline. Players aren't tracking back, players aren't tackling, players aren't following runners, etc., etc. Where do we go from here? I do not know. But Chelsea's up next, and that will most definitely be a very, very big game for us, not just in terms of results for the Premier League table and points and that, but in terms of where our mentalities are at. Where do these players see themselves either under Ten Hag or at Man United? Are some of them already thinking of leaving the club, therefore they're not performing and don't want to perform? Or is there something going on behind the scenes between the players and Ten Hag? Do they not like his tactics? Has he spoken to them in a certain way and they don't like it? Are they upset that Sancho is not in the team, Varane, etc.? I don't know. All what I see is on the pitch, nobody wants to fight for the badge. Certain players only carry us so far, but the ones that are supposed to be helping are dragging us down. But we have to move forward. This is something that I don't like, but it's our reality right now. It's where we are at, and we need to be realistic about that. It would be good for us just to focus on the domestic side this season, maybe get a good run in the FA Cup, try and get to Wembley again, and just get top 4. That needs to be the aim. I think we need to just focus on those two, and we should be okay. If we can manage to get a couple players in and get rid of a few players in January, it will only be a bonus and a boost if those players are going to help us. It's not going to help if we get a player, for example, like when we got Vegas from Burnley on loan. That's not going to help us. So we'll see what happens in the next few games, but there's not a lot of hope with the way we are playing, or with the way this team does not want to play. But thank you for joining me in today's video. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and of course ensure that you share it to your friends and family who do support Man United, or those who just want to be part of a community where we talk about football. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully we have better fortunes in the games to come. But as always, we keep the faith. We are Man United supporters at the end of the day. Have a wonderful day further, Red Devils, till we see each other again soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.